Hi guys, today we're going to use the scale factor and percentage to find actual length of any given drawing. So the objective is, given scale drawing, students will be able to compute the length of the actual picture using the scale factor. In other words, finding the actual length given the scale factor. So this is our problem, question number 1. It says distance around the entire small boat is 28 and 4/10 units. The larger figure is a scale drawing of the smaller drawing of the boat. State the scale factor as a percent and then use the scale factor. So I'm going to highlight what we have to do. State the scale factor as a percent, then use the scale factor to find the distance around the scale drawing. So they're giving us a perimeter of 28 and 4/10 units, and they want us to find the perimeter for this big drawing. So first thing, we have to figure out what is going to be our scale factor. So question is first, scale factor. They're giving us the perimeter, but we can figure out find a corresponding side and figure out what kind of scale factor enlargement. This is an enlargement, obviously. What kind of enlargement has happened to go from this to this? Okay, so I'm going to use something that is easy to find corresponding terms, which, for example, let's say I'm going to use this length or the width of the boat as my corresponding sides to this. Okay, so I'm going to count how many little units has this taken. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this length is 8 units. Let's see, I went from 8 units to what? 1, 2, 3, this is 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I went from 8 units to 22 units. And we know the formula to use to simplify and find the scale factor as a percentage. I'm going to use my given units, 8. I went from 8 units to 22 units. This is an enlargement, so see the fraction looks improper, and that's how it should look because it's an enlargement. It became bigger. X is my percentage out of 100. I'm going to get 2200 divided by 8 is equal to X, and that's going to be 275%. So the scale drawing is 275%. As you can see, 275 is more than 100, so it's definitely an enlargement, as you also see from the picture. All right, so I know 275% is the enlargement. Now I have to figure out how can I use this to find the actual perimeter that I have to find for the enlarged figure. So if my figure was multiplied by 275%, that's how I got 8 to 22. Now I got to do the same thing. So the second step would be to use the 275% as your scale factor and multiply it by 28 and 4/10. So if I multiply, I cannot multiply it just like that because it's percent. So I have to convert this into a decimal. So 275 over 100 is my percentage times 28 8 and 4/10. Now I can simplify this fraction. So I have 275 divided by 100 is equal to 2 and 75/100 times 28 and 4/10 times 28 and 4/10 is equal to 78 and 1/10 units. So what did we just find? We found this. That's the first step, the scale factor as a percent, and then we use the scale factor to find the distance, which is the per meter. So we actually found P is equal to 78 and 1/10 units for the larger scale drawing. All right, moving on to the second problem. This one is saying the length of the longer path, which is this. Why is it not drawing? Okay. This is 32 and 4/10. So I'm going to write 32 and 4/10 units. The shorter path is a scalar drawing of the longer path. Find the length of the shorter path and explain how you arrived at your answer. So they're asking us to find the length of this. So if this is 32 and 4/10, we want to know what this is. Let's call this d, lowercase d. Okay. So first thing is first we have to figure out what's the scale factor. So I'm going to write first scale factor as a percentage. To do that, I have to find a corresponding side that's easy to manipulate and easy to figure out the scale factor as a percentage. So I'm going to use either this side or this side. I can use either side. I'm going to use the shorter side. All right, so let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 units here and I have 2 units here. So it went from 6 to 2. It's a reduction, so I have to make sure my fraction looks like a reduction. The original starting point always here. Original point. Not point, it's actually original measurement. Okay, that's script for you. And this is the end point, end measurement. Beautiful. Okay, so, and now I have x over 100. Now simplify this, I'm going to get 200 divided by 6 is equal to x as a percentage. Let's divide 200 by 6. It's going to give me 33 and 1/3% is equal to x. And now this is my scale factor. So how can I use this to figure out, they're asking us to find the length, okay. So the length is, if this was 30, oops, sorry. So it's, we have to multiply 32 and 4/10 by this 33 and 1/3%. So 33 and 1/3% cannot be multiplied because of this percent sign. I have to convert it into a fraction or a whole number or a decimal. So 32 and 4/10 times 99 over 3 divided by 100. That's a bit complicated. So I'm not going to multiply it by 33 and 1/3%. I'm converting that into a fraction. And if I convert 33 and 1/3 into a fraction, I'm going to get 1/3. Now I have to multiply this. So if I multiply 1 times 32 and 4/10, I'm going to get 1 times 32 and 4/10 divided by 3 is going to be equal to 10 and 8 units, and this is the length of the the small scale drawing, small path. Okay. And how did we arrive at our answer? So we did first we found the scale factor, and then we figured out how we're going to use that to find the length of the small path, and we did some multiplication. But I want you guys to think more about how you arrived at this answer. Okay.